What's up, guys? It's Wadliacha here from the Halo Fix, bringing you another Tuesday tip. Today's tip is on Haven, and I'm going to try to basically show you all the jumps and tricks to this map. We're going to scrutinize every nook and cranny and use it to our advantage. So, there is a lot of them, so bear with me. I'll try to go as fast as I can. For starters, a lot of these jumps are a lot easier than they seem, because in matchmaking they have increased the speed from 100% to 110%, so a lot of these jumps are much easier in matchmaking than it is shown in here. So as you can see, I can spring jump to those top pillars on top of them. If you don't know what spring jump is, basically you can jump higher than a normal height jump by jumping, and while you're in air, hold crouch, and as you land, keep crouching, and then uncrouch and jump at the same time. If that doesn't make sense, but as you can see, normal jump, and then spring jump, it's higher. If you want me to go into more depth into this later, tell me. So as you can see, you can use a spring jump to jump from that bottom bridge to top bridge using this little ledge. You can spring jump onto this ledge and jump the rest of the way. So just remember, spring jump, you jump, crouch, stay crouched, and then you have to uncrouch and jump at the same exact time, and it should launch you. And there's just a little hiding spot, the void fire that most people know about. So here are these ledges. They're very useful to jump into top mid. I would advise you use them. So let's move on to these beams. These beams have many useful jumps in fact. So the first one obviously is a jump to like top mid or to Mohawk. Secondly, you can use them to jump to the other grab lifts. Something I forgot to mention is on this map, Haven is symmetrical, so basically all these jumps work on both sides. So I'm just going to show you on one side, but almost all of them work on both sides, and if they don't, I will tell you which ones don't. So you can also jump the landing from that beam. And lastly, this is my favorite one because not very many people know about it, but it's pretty interesting. So you can jump all the way from beam to bottom bridge. Now be careful, because if you're being shot, your sprint is, you slow down and you won't be able to make that jump. So just know that on a lot of these jumps, if you're being shot, it might not work. So let's move on to these inclines. These inclines can be very useful for beginning of the game because you spawn at the ramps now. So you can use them to jump to open ramp where the power weapon is. Throw a nade top mid to help keep them away. You can get the sniper or railgun that's there. So these beams can be useful for doing that. I always use that beam at the start of Haven. That's how I start every game. I don't know why, but that's my path. I like it. And you can also use this to jump to the platforms. And on Haven, a lot of these jumps are reversible. Like that, you can jump to it, and you can jump backwards to it also. So just know that a lot of these jumps you can do backwards and forwards, and that's a good thing to know. So here, let's focus on these areas in these corners. You can jump on this railing, and then you can get the top Mohawk from there. See that little ledge right there, that slant? You can jump onto that and get through there. Another thing that a lot of people don't know about is in this corner you can thruster, and then there's a little invisible corner ledge that you can sit in. This is a great way to avoid battles and hard fire that's coming in bottom Mohawk. You can just jump around that corner and thruster there, and you're safe, and you can jump back. So here's another thing a lot of people don't know about, and that's mainly probably because it's really difficult and, you know, it's really hard to do, actually. So there's an invisible ledge on this wall. You can jump and get to gravity lift from there. What happens most of the time is you jump, and then the second jump, you hit that little slant ledge crack coming out of the wall. Try to avoid that and jump out instead. So let's move on to these walls that are here top mid. You can use these to jump onto the slant and get a nice height advantage to those on Mohawk and other places. Now, these landings are also very useful. They have lots of jumps you can use. One that many people can use is jumping down the grab lift, the bottom street from the landing. Another one that not very many people know about is jumping the bottom Mohawk from here. Like I said, these are reversible, so like that first one I showed you, that was kind of reversed of it. And then you can jump to bridge or bottom bridge from here. So here's a little ledge things next to this ramp. On these ramps, you can use this little ledge next to the railing, to like run up against it and pop up and shoot. It keeps from getting a nice nade on you or getting a good headshot on you, because as you can see, I'm popping up randomly, and as I walk against the railing, my head pops up and jolts everywhere, so it's very hard for them to get a good headshot in you, and it's like strafing almost on a railing. It's kind of useful. So now let's move on to the grab lifts and thruster pack jumps. That one is one that many people know about. You can turn around and thruster into Top Street. And like I said before, right there, that was actually quite difficult to do, but since the player speed has been increased, you can do it. And right there, you can use the window to jump the bottom mohawk. It's pretty useful. The second one is the thruster from the grab lift to bottom mohawk, that way. And the third is probably the one I use most. If there's somebody top mid and they're waiting for you, you can thruster to bottom bridge instead, avoiding what their pre-nades are going to do to you. Now let's move on to these street ledges. You can sprint, and as soon as you hit the wall, crouch and it'll bounce you up. Or you can spring jump alternatively, and even from here you can thruster down to bottom bridge. So that works on both sides like most of these jumps. And you can use spring jump here to get down to bottom mohawk. A nice little escape route. So you can even use this railing to go back through. You can go out, you can go through. Lots of little jumps and nooks and crannies on this Haven map. So let's say you're fighting somebody top mohawk and they go back behind that corner and they're waiting for you. But then you come up around here. They're not going to expect that. They're just not. So here's an interesting one. You can crouch, get onto this beam, get up to the next level, make sure you're under the beam, have your left foot, the back heel of your left foot, in between the two black lines on that wall. And then uncrouch and jump at the same time, and this is called a pressure launch. It should launch you to top mid. So just remember, left foot, back of the heel has to be halfway between those two black lines. And uncrouch and jump just as you would in a spring jump. So here's a little nifty jump, bridge to landing. Say you're fighting somebody and they jump behind that corner and they're one shot, and then you can turn around and get them. Nice little nifty tip. And that is all the jumps I have for you guys. I hope you liked them. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Halo Fix. This is Wadliacha signing out.
Suicide.